Emancipation is a popular observance across the CARICOM region. In today's episode of CARICOM One-on-One, we're going to speak with representatives from some of our CARICOM member states to find out how they celebrate this milestone in the region's history. But before we get into it, we know you want to be a member of the CARICOM family, and one way of doing so is to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already done so. Also, please click the bell notification button so that you can be notified when we upload new videos. Our first guest for this Emancipation edition of CARICOM One-on-One is Dr. Manorma Soeknandan. She's the Deputy Secretary-General here at CARICOM Secretariat, and she hails from Suriname. And she's going to tell us about how emancipation is observed in her country. Go ahead, DSG.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity.
Welcome, welcome.
Emancipation Day in Suriname is the 1st of July.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Suriname was a colony of the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a difference with the English-speaking Caribbean. And the year our slaves were abolished is the 1863.
Wow.
Not like in the English colonies,
Right.
which was prior to,
Right.
which was 1833.
Okay.
So we have 1863. Now, how do we celebrate it? With special dresses and so on. People go to the church or the cathedral. We have a cathedral in Suriname.
Right.
The prayers are being done, people pray and so on. And after that, there are many events. And people also have go home, family gatherings and so on with lots of food. Typical, I would say, Creole food. Suriname has typical food, yes, and drinks. And dancing and those types of things.
Like festival type
like
activities.
festival type of activities. That's right.
So I see you have a beautiful display here of
Yes.
items. Can you tell us about that and how that ties into your emancipation observances?
Okay, all the drinks here being used during emancipation, and of course a lot more than this, right? Because we also have sweet drinks like almond drink, it's called horchata. We also have ginjabiri,
Which is ginger beer.
Ginger beer. Ginger is Sranang Tongo for ginger. And we have lots of food, typical, I would say, Creole food. We have like something is called anitri berry. Anitri, that it, just to give you example, it means that the rice is really white.
Okay.
And why is it anitri berry? It relates to the reformist church that you had in the Netherlands, and which then people came to Suriname. And when people bury, it's from burial. So when people go to the burial, the people dress in white from top to toe.
Oh, wow.
Now this food, the rice and what goes in it, it resembles that whiteness. So that's why it's very typical, and that's why it's called anitri berry. But you have other types of food. You have, for example, moksalesi, several types of moksalesi. You have masusalesi.
Right.
Alesi is rice.
Okay.
Masus, that's a fruit which colors the rice yellow-orange. Okay? Then typical something for Suriname also is our bruine bonen met rijst, which means brown beans with rice. In the brown beans, it's like, you would say like a soup kind of thing.
I see.
In which you have several types of meat. You have chicken, salt meat, you have pigtail. Those are the basic things that goes in it.
Sounds delicious.
Yes. And with rice and some other vegetables, right? Then you also have like the kiksi. That is something else. Those are the sweet stuff.
Right.
You have the kiksi. You have pom.
So these are things that you traditionally
yes,
eat
typical
in
Surinamese.
commemoration.
Yes, in commemoration of abolishment of slavery.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about this doll here. She's wearing some African-looking
Yes.
garb.
That's right.
This is a very beautiful fabric.
That's right. It's cotton. And in Suriname, and not because I'm from Suriname, but I have observed it in our region, the community. Suriname is the only country in the Caribbean, and at least this part, where you have this type of a head tie. This is just one. A lot of starch goes in this thing.
Oh, wow.
And ironing and so on. And you will see it's tied in a certain way and it has knots, right? There are several of these type of head dresses or head ties, if I may say so. Depending on where you have the knots, in which direction is showing, and how it's brought together, it might have several meanings.
Oh, wow, I had no idea.
Yes, this dates from slavery times. You know, during slavery, men and women were not allowed to meet and so on. And even later on, you know, very conservative society, you were not free to meet your friend or your boyfriend and so on. So depending on how you would have the knots and how you would tie it, it might mean that, okay, meet me on the corner.
Oh, wow.
Or meet me on the left corner.
A rendezvous of sorts.
Yes, or meet me on the right corner.
I see.
Or let them talk.
Oh, wow.
You know, you're a woman, you don't care. Oh, let them talk. So that is what it would resemble.
Right.
Or, listen, don't bother me. Right? That is something else. Now, on birthdays, we call that feriar also. Then you have special, very colorful, with a lot of lace and those types of things. And when people go to burial and so on, of course, that's different. But on Emancipation Days, it's not like the white ones and so on that people will wear, but more these types. And it depends on these days, you know, it's more being contemporary in dressing. Now, this here is, you see, it's very long. So this is the traditional one.
Right.
This is a koto.
I see.
A koto, this. And this here, it comes still here. This is the jackie. Jackie is from jacket, English jacket.
Right.
So each dress always have this short piece till here.
Right.
Good. Now, these days, a lot of lace is also being put in it.
Interesting.
Right. So, and what you have these days, in those days it was always long. And these days you have them till the knee.
I see.
You have those ones too. And in the old days, during slavery and so on, the women used also to wear, you know, those inside pants, a bit big, and you tie it with a rope.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so you had that also. So, yeah, and then people would later on put these wires. So the wider, the bigger, yes, like a king, yes, those types of things.
Okay.
And then, of course, especially for the city Creoles, then something I must mention, because I always admire that, is when you dance in something like this, you know, the movement is so swift and so nice. So in those days, to a certain extent, you still have it. We call it the set dancey.
Right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you go with it.
Right.
Yes. So that is also dates also from slavery time, and of course the men, they have a separate dress code.
Right.
But you will not see that anymore in Suriname, because it would just be the pants tight in a certain way, you know, and then just the upper part. But you don't see that so much, but you will see this high tie days and so on, and women especially dressed in this way.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, DSG. It has been enlightening, especially for me, and I'm pretty sure for those of us who are from the English-speaking Caribbean, to learn more about the Surinamese culture and how you observe emancipation. Thanks again for being a part of the program.
Thank you very much. And I know in Guyana, it's the 1st of August.
Yes.
So in Suriname, we would say one sweet Mansipasi Day, meaning have a sweet Emancipation Day. Thank you.
This is Solange Washington. Solange is from Guyana. Welcome to the program, Solange.
Thank you very much.
All right, and she's going to tell us, how exactly do you guys observe emancipation in Guyana?
Well, in my country, emancipation is really a celebration of our African heritage. So there's an annual festival organized by the African Culture and Development Agency, ACDA, which takes place in a national park every year. So it's a big celebration of African life, customs, and culture. So families would go there, and there will be lots of booths on display with different books and craft and jewelry and food, lots of food and drink, African food and drink. There's also a cultural presentation on the main stage where there are lots of dancing and drumming and all of those kind of African cultural things. So families would go out there, they have lots of food and drink. Also, it's a time where people can go and learn more about their African culture. There are lots of booths where they have printed information for us to learn more about African life. Also, it's just a time for us to reflect on what our ancestors did for us as Africans. Also, people would, because it's a national holiday, people will take the time to spend some quality family time. So they probably go to they probably have a picnic, or they go to the creek. And for others, they would just stay at home and just use the time to catch up on some sleep. Also, here we also, like at our different workplaces, people will get their African cultural themed outfits, and they will come to work the day before. So everybody's dressed in African dresses or pants or whatever it is. So you don't necessarily have to be of African descent to be wearing it. So everybody just gets dressed up. It's just a time of celebration and fun. So that's what we basically do here. So we have lots of food, lots of drink. It's just a festival. You walk, you check out all the different booths. There's lots of jewelry on display. There are lots of printed material that you can actually buy. So it's just a fun day in the park. There's face painting, trampolines for children. So it's just a family fun day in the national park. It's big, and you just go down there and have a good time.
Okay, sounds very exciting.
Yes,
and
very exciting.
Very exciting and very interesting.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Solange.
Thank you, Jacine.
This is Michelle Small Bartley, and Michelle is a new member of our staff here at the CARICOM Secretariat. She is from Jamaica. Welcome to the program, Michelle.
Thank you.
And she is going to share with us how exactly emancipation is observed in Jamaica.
Okay, well, emancipation is sort of merged with our independence because the dates are so close.
Right.
So it's celebrated. There's a lot of fun and activities and events that takes place. And one of the things that we are cognizant of and recognize during that time is our culture. So there is a festival that goes on during that time. Well, leading up to the time, and we recognize our Jamaican festival queen.
Oh, wow.
We also have our festival songs. Each year we have a new festival song that is done. And then that leads into our Grand Gala, which happens at our national stadium.
Okay.
And this is just an event where you have the families coming out, you have friends coming out, and you have everybody coming out just to have fun. And this is where we have a numerous performance being displayed.
Right.
And what we have is the different performers, both those who are on the international stage who are Jamaicans and those who are local. So we showcase our talents, we showcase our culture, and there's a parade sometimes, a float that actually happens sometimes leading up to this grand event.
Wow.
And in that float, sometimes what happens is that we display the faces of our heroes, our national heroes, and of course, acknowledging others who have, our ancestors who have passed on. So there's a lot of activities that go on, and it's really very fun during this time in Jamaica. Actually, I wish if I was there now.
I do too, actually. I'm missing the Grand Gala. So, of course, our Emancipation Day is on August the 1st,
August 1st,
but Independence is on
August 6th.
On the 6th, right.
And it's usually, the Grand Gala is usually celebrated on Independence Day.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Michelle. So with me this time, I have our resident Haitian here at the CARICOM Secretariat, Johnson.
Hi, morning, Jacine. Morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right. So Emancipation and independence are big things for Haiti. You guys are pretty much the ones who have set the pace. You are the pioneers in terms of this kind of thing for the region. And we're so grateful to you for doing this for us. Tell us about how you observe emancipation in your country.
Hey, Jason. As opposed to the English speaking Caribbean, emancipation is not observed in Haiti. But what happened? We celebrate Independence Day, which is on the January 1st.
Right.
And around this, I don't know if I should, around this period, the president would address the nation, and there would be some cultural event, and where they would honor the forefathers of the country.
Right. Tell me about some of those celebrations. What exactly do you do in those celebratory activities?
As you may be aware, there's the pumpkin soup, which recalls how during the slavery period, only the masters could drink this pumpkin soup.
Oh, wow.
So for independence, all Haitians would have pumpkin soup just to say that. To say that. Since since we could not drink it around slavery, so we are free now. We can do it.
Right.
That would be the basics, and there would be some cultural activities, and then
So this involves like dancing and
and some folkloric and cultural activities.
And I know you have some rich art in Haiti, so I'm assuming that you showcase some of that as well.
Around this period as well, there would be some festivals where groups and play some compa music.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Welcome.
That's all for today's episode of CARICOM One-on-One. We're glad that you joined us. For more episodes, check out our YouTube channel. Comment below and tell us how you observe emancipation in your country. We'd love to hear from you. To get more information about things CARICOM, visit our news site at today.caricom.org. Follow us on Twitter, check out our LinkedIn, like us on Facebook, or visit our website at caricom.org. It's always a pleasure to see you here in this space, and we hope you enjoy whatever you choose to do to commemorate emancipation in your neck of the woods. See you in our next video.